Alright, so I'm not making anything today. This isn't actually a video that I was planning on doing, but I've had some people ask me recently, what the hell happened to your thumb? As you can see, we had a shop accident. This happened when I was 17 years old, and it wasn't because I was unlucky or something crazy happened. It was because I was stupid, and I was in a hurry, and I wasn't worried about it. And I paid the price for it. So I'm going to show you what I did, why it happened, and how it's not going to happen anymore. For one, it wasn't on a saw like this. It wasn't on a shop style saw. It was on a little 10-inch Craftsman job site saw that was just sitting on the garage floor. I didn't even kneel down to get level with it. I was leaning over it, which is kind of stupid anyway. I was off balance. This machine's unplugged, by the way, because I don't want this thing to get any shorter. So one thing I did was I went from ripping 2x4. So I had the blade up high enough for a 2x4. And then instead of taking the 10 seconds it would have taken to just drop the blade down when I switched to 1/2-inch plywood, I left the blade up high. Now, this is 3/4 plywood, but as you can see, that is incredibly unnecessary, and that is more than enough blade to take off your thumb. So, always, 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 when you're ripping material, you want to set your blade just a little bit above your material to where it cuts through, but you don't have a catastrophic event. If I would have my blade set like this, I would have got a nasty cut. It would have hurt like hell, but I'd still have a thumb, and I'd have a cool scar instead of a weird nub. Another thing, use push sticks. I have a bunch of push sticks. I have this little wooden sacrificial push stick that can actually run through the blade. I got the push stick down here that came with the saw. I got a bunch more over there because I'm a big believer in push sticks now. I wasn't using push sticks back then because if you're careful, you don't really need them, but it takes like a 1/2 second lapse in concentration or judgment. Maybe you lose balance, whatever. Board kicks on you. Just use it. It's worth it. Unless you have a saw stop, then the hell with it. Go willy-nilly. That's what I would like to do, but I can't afford one of those. All right, so when you're feeding into a table saw, you only want pressure on the cut side that's running against the fence. For example, if I'm gonna run this board through it, and a lot of people do this, but you don't wanna do this. You don't wanna be pushing on this side. Just leave that alone. You don't even need that. What you do is simply keep your hand and push stick on the cut side and push it through. There's no need to touch this at all. When you're running your board through and you're pushing on this side and pushing on this side, it's going to tend to close your kerf. When I apply pressure on here, it wants to pinch. And if it pinches the blade, it'll kick back. It'll hit you in the stomach or the worse, and that hurts too. That's not catastrophic, but trust me, you do not want a board coming back and hitting your baby makers. So it's pretty simple, man. Just keep this damn hand away. There's no need for it. I've seen a lot of guys, man, they come through like this, pushing on it, and it starts to bind, and they're fighting with it. Just abort. That happens. Those things don't tend to end well. Once your blade starts pinching and binding and your board's getting out of square, it's kind of what I imagine riding a bull is like, except instead of getting thrown off and stomped on the chest, you know, you can catch a board to the nads or lose a hand. So it's a bunch of other safety crap. You should probably have a guard on it. I don't use a guard. Maybe one day I'll be making a video on why you should use a guard, but for now, I'm using push sticks. Keep the blade low. You know, I got a big button over here that I can hit with my leg if something goes awry. So yeah, I just wanted to address that because I know, I was hoping not to address it, but in these videos, it's pretty freaking obvious sometimes. And I know it's weirding people out, but like I said, I wasn't unlucky. I was just stupid. So if you avoid being stupid, you can prevent a bunch of accidents. So anyway, yeah, it was a table saw that claimed my thumb. The only good thing that came out of that, one, my sister was in college studying forensics, so she got some real on-the-job training. She got to study blood spatter and all that crap because it made a hell of a mess. But my little sister was home. She was the only one home with me, and it kind of freaked her out. So you should probably also, if you can, and I work in the shop by myself all the time, but you know, probably best if you got somebody around within screaming distance at least. Because I'm gonna tell you what, when I cut the thumb, it didn't really hurt. Kind of felt like a, you know, you automatically go into shock. I didn't even realize what I did until I, you know, pulled back and you know, blood went everywhere. It was a whole big thing. That's when I realized what happened, and ain't much you can do about it after that. So, you know, you wrap it up in your Leonard Skinner t-shirt and hop in your '86 Chevy Blazer and drive to the hospital. That's what I did. That's what I was gonna do. Luckily, one of my dad's coworkers happened to pull up. He gave me a ride. But yeah. So be safe. Keep them looking like this, not like this. Luckily, I'm married to a good woman. She doesn't mind being married to a mutant. All right. And plus, you can make up all kinds of crazy stories how you lose your thumb. As long as you don't tell people you're a woodworker. If they know that, then they know exactly what happened. I told my kids once that I accidentally bit it off when I was eating chicken. That was pretty funny. That went over like a lead balloon. I don't think they believed it. Well, the little one did. He believed it. Probably because he bites his fingers when he's eating too. But anyway. So yeah, you can make up cool stories. Just don't tell anybody you woodwork. Then all your stories go right out the window. So I'll see y'all later. Be good.